The summer lingers longer on Mallorca, and that's where Audi is presenting the sporty top model in the middle of the range. The new Audi S4 doesn't just have more performance than its predecessor, it also costs less and is less thirsty. The completely new TFSI engine returns an average of 29 miles per gallon imperial. The 3-litre V6 accelerates the S4 from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.1 seconds. But what the Audi engineers are particularly proud of is further back. More precisely, in the back axle. Up to now, a normal differential distributed the drive to the two rear wheels. Now there's a device that raises the dynamic performance of the Quattro to a new level, the active sports differential. So what's behind this high-tech innovation, and how does it benefit the driver? Audi TV tried it out on the Circuit de Mallorca. The sports diff divides the drive between the two wheels in a controlled and infinitely variable proportion. In a bend, the outer wheel gets a larger share. This is a way to overcome natural inertia. The car is pressed into the curve and understeer becomes a thing of the past. Ralf Schwarz is head of suspension control systems. He and his team were largely responsible for this technical advance. He explained the goals that the development engineers were pursuing.
The main emphasis in developing the sports differential lay in achieving more dynamic handling. We think people should have the chance to enjoy driving, even in everyday conditions. You steer into the curve and accelerate out of it, and the car reacts with agility.
Of course, the Audi engineers were not just out to make driving more fun. They also wanted to improve the car's active safety and traction even further. The result was a resounding success. And this is how the active sports differential works in the new Audi S4. When you turn the steering wheel and accelerate into a bend, more power is transferred to the outer rear wheel. The control unit calculates the best torque distribution, depending on the steering angle, lateral acceleration, speed and other information. The classic bulge in the rear axle has been supplemented by a gearbox in each semi-axle, which turns 10% faster than the drive shaft. When the multiple plate clutch engages, the corresponding rear wheel speeds up as a result. The necessary power is transferred from the opposite wheel via the differential. If necessary, the full torque can be applied to one wheel. The effect is to press the car into the curve so that the rear end precisely follows the angle of the front wheels. The active sports differential completely redefines agility in a fascinating way. Over 200 journalists tested the new S4 on Mallorca and were fully convinced. Ralf Schwarz was more than happy with this positive feedback.
I can only say that not one of the journalists got out of the car without a broad grin on his face. At the beginning of the week, we had 2 of our DTM test drivers here, and they were also highly enthusiastic. Those are the purists, who normally don't necessarily think much of mechatronic systems, but both of them really liked this one, and they were converted.
Of course, the journalists were able to try out the Audi S4 not just on the racetrack, but also on normal roads of Mallorca. Like many of his fellow journalists, Reinhold Deisenhofer was very much taken by the sporty car with its innovative back axle.
I like it because it's unusual for a new model to be cheaper than the previous one. It also uses less fuel, and it's even faster. That's partly due to the new rear axle. It doesn't apply the brakes if you enter a bend too fast, like a normal ESP. In fact, it even accelerates. It presses you into the bend, and that's really good fun for a sporty driver.
The Quattro has become synonymous with superior handling. Why? That's something one can experience in a new dimension, in the new Audi S4 Quattro with its sports differential.